Hi, I'm Angela, and today's topic is why haven't I met someone yet? So, this has been a perplexing one for me with some of my clients and also long term friends. I haven't had a lot of long term friends who have been chronically single, but I have had friends who have had a long period of their lives where they have not been able to find someone, and it's always been a mystery when I've been with those friends who have been single for maybe more than half their life, to really look at what are those factors that create someone else is in a relationship but you're still not, and it can be really frustrating as well. So let's review some of the factors that influence why you might be single whereas someone is not. There are many factors that that I bring in that maybe other people don't consider, and that is a specific thing about how I've been studying love for a very long time, since I was a young child, and I was into fairy tales and into romance. So I looked at romance and the factors that drew us to certain people and created relationships that didn't last. So I wanted to know why you would go into a relationship that didn't last. And what I've found for those that don't attract someone is that the certain love story that they're experiencing is resolving old feelings that somehow they have to fit into a mold that they've been in some ways punishing themselves for a very long time. So it's almost like they've been born with this feeling like, I should be doing something that I'm not doing. So if I looked at the language of most of my friends who have been single chronically, it's like I should be in a relationship, but I'm not. So there's a constant berating of themselves. It's not only that they do self-deprecation or put themselves down, but it's like they're not living up to some standard that was of a more society standard, not a personal standard. So because of that, they're somehow less. If I look at my cultural background, which is from Italy, Sicily, when women were spinsters, they were also considered less. So in some ways today we don't have that same terminology, but it's still there. Women who are single are considered somehow like, you've missed out. And it is a baggage, a cultural baggage of not fitting into some social expectation. So as a result, that person goes into self-punishing. Now, having said that, there's also some of you may be watching who are not chronically single, but you're single now and you've had a relationship, but you're single for a long time. Or you've been on the dating circuit and not having success. So this pattern I found was reflective of people who had been born with a pattern of really resolving an old feeling, which could be a soul feeling, that somehow once again they had to fit into a social expectation and they failed. So there's a factor of self-punishment, or I'm not meeting up to some standard, I'm not fitting in. But they have to also go through actual heartbreak to experience it. So they have to have someone and lose them and go through a lot of heartbreak because of it. And betrayal. So betrayal is a big one. We're going to look at that in another video because it's kind of big. But betrayal is a very heavy energy. So for those of you who have had relationships and you're still single and you're dealing with betrayal, thank you, because you're doing such big work on handling some very big emotions which deal with, what if I do make something in my life or in the world and I fail miserably at it? And you get to experience, some people do it through money or business and childbirth and losing a child. You do it through losing a relationship. So you're working on that heart energy of what happens if I really mess up here and I've exposed myself and opened my heart. Now, if you are still single, some of the factors that that a lot of people teach, we could look at a lot of other love coaches here. They all and law of attraction coaches talk about focusing on that feeling that you're going to have when you share. And I also really do a lot of work with that. You can also pick up my book, Cracking the Relationship Code, which has the ultimate love vision exercise there, and you get to do it, practice it. So it is a level of kinesthetically feeling what it's like. The other aspect is to look at any senses of, I don't fit in, I failed, I'm never going to make it. And those three aspects are things that you have come to finally once and for all feel at a very big level and say, I'm going to be who I am anyway. Not everybody who is chronically single, and I know people in their 70s who are still single, was meant to be in a couple. That does not have to be your fate. But if you can resolve, I'm never going to be successful, I failed, I'm never going to be what society wants. If you can resolve those heavy judgments about yourself, what happens is a huge burden is lifted. And so then when you go into manifesting and thinking about calling in the one, your heart is actually happy. Because I've found that those people who use law of attraction, who haven't gone and resolved the feelings in the heart, keep on attracting those unresolved feelings. That's the law of attraction. So what I do is actually get you to look at the unresolved stuff and build a love around that. And that love can manifest a partner. That love will manifest a partner because you now have experienced failure and you're a lot more compassionate. So thank you for joining the Daily Love and Togetherness, and let's learn a lot more about building that compassion.